It's sheer comedy that I have to say this so many times. But again, when talking to other people, especially people that have law enforcement, whatever, to hear about somebody who's got felony charges, that's on pretrial release, getting a call from a passport office where the person at the passport office swears that you're at that point of payment, and that shows premeditation, first off, because this would have had to start immediately after getting kicked out of court or right after being out of jail, right? And it's really stern when you hear that somebody says that, because it takes time to get all this shit together. So it would show premeditation to, what is it called, elude or whatever that's called when you run from the law. You intend to run from the law. So it's 2 felony charges that supposedly, if you in normal circumstances, any normal set of circumstances, you're on pretrial release and you call any law enforcement agency and you're like, the passport office called and said this, and you forward messages and all that shit. Apparently the first thing that goes into anybody's mind is to come and arrest you, because it's 2 guaranteed felony charges. Even if you don't go to prison over it. It's crazy, right? And I didn't go to the fucking passport office. I don't have money like that. I'm fucking homeless. $130 would last me quite some time. Let me tell you what. I can't remember how much. I looked it up online because there's a cost for the thing and then the cost, I don't know. Anyways, it's pretty suspicious too to pay for them with money orders, right? And so I go to sit down with Sam Oliver. Then all of a sudden, he pushes this expedited case resolution where it's normal probation for 12 months. And I said no, because I didn't do anything wrong here. So this is kind of crazy. And so he's like, okay, this, that, and the other. And then he sends me this text, oh, so you want to whatever. And I was like, I just want this to go away so I could live a life. The very next day when I go and turn that down, I sign whatever paperwork with him. I leave, I go to the library, I get this fucking call. It's like it was somebody who had to have been following the thing from the jump knew to do it in that time frame. And it's beyond me how a warrant wasn't issued instantly. Does that make sense? Because, again, it looks like you're eluding the authorities, which on a felony charge to elude whatever prosecution is another felony charge. And then to try to obtain a passport while you're on pretrial release because you signed a piece of paper saying that you're not going to try to leave the state or leave the municipality that you're being prosecuted in, right? So then that's another charge. So it blows my fucking mind, right? And then I go and testify, and then they suggest that there's a misdemeanor instead. And they base that off of testimony that I don't get to read. I don't get to read any of this. And maybe it's back and forth like that. I don't know. But it just feels really weird because when you look at the evidence, there's nothing consistent with that. So you'd have to not look at the evidence and only listen to a testimony. I don't know what to say. Because from that point of the passport thing, the very next day, that's when Brent calls me and tells me that I have 1 day, 1 4-hour period to remove my stuff. It's like it was lined up so that I would have a pressure cooker of a moment, right? And this is crazy to me because they attested in court that I was going to have a storage unit for 3 months. So they already admit to going through the stuff that I had there. You know what I mean? There's already that. So right then and there, I don't understand why this is still hanging over my head other than to push me down. And then that speaks levels and volumes for the system itself. Because when you can see that there's a weird heckled up, premeditated crime to cover this other one, it's a problem.